How are you doing? Welcome to my show, Maggie Rambles with Other People. Today, I am rambling with someone super cool, a Dallas-Fort Worth native and award-winning filmmaker behind the hit drama series Vindication. Welcome, my guest, Jarod O'Flaherty. Jarod, thank you for joining.
Yes, this should be fun.
Yeah, it should be very fun. Now, I know that you're knee-deep in production for season 2, but that's not the only new thing going on. You guys also moved to a new house recently. So how are you and the fam settling in?
Oh, it's going great. So you can see behind me, most of my office is set up, kind of giving me my little creative space. And I won't give you the tour, but it's a lot of really cool, fun Jarod stuff back behind me.
Nice, Jarod stuff. That's probably description enough, right?
Yeah.
Fun boy man things.
Right. Yeah, there's some video fun, but I don't know.
It is now.
We'll leave the boy out of it, right?
Okay.
I mean, just because you see some toy cars and some old video games, yeah, that doesn't mean boy stuff.
Definitely never take them out for a tour around the office, right? Just when you get a little blocked on writing and stuff.
Never.
That never happens.
Right.
Anyway, moving on. So you guys recently moved to this new house, but you guys built this house, didn't you?
Yeah, we actually started back in November, and with what has changed in our world over the last 6 to 8 months, that was a interesting time. There was some uncertainty in there. We actually shot 2 episodes of Vindication during that same time, and then got to move in. And there's some certainty that our house will show up within season 2. Anytime we need a set or a
nice.
That'll be the new spot.
So we'll get the tour through the show, is what you're saying.
Hopefully, yeah. Season 1, we used our church facility and property quite often. Like every corner of it is used for some scene. So that may be the O'Flaherty house going forward.
Love it. I love it. Now, you started production on season 2, but how did this happen? How did you get to the point where you're producing and directing your own TV show?
Okay, so the long journey would be we started out creating a single short film called Vindication, and that's what turned into what is episode 1 now. There was never an intention to create this series, at least in my mind. And after we did the first episode, I was approached, hey, can you make another episode or follow up with it? So, there are marketing materials out there that say Vindication 2, which is now episode 2, but it was just for us 1 and 2, tell these 2 stories. But then opportunities just continued to arise of, well, hey, how about 2 more, and we had a little bit of success with the first ones, and that just continued to open doors, but we didn't have the luxury of sitting down and saying, hey, we're going to tell a 10 episode story. So anything that's connected between them really came about almost accidentally or, by design. We didn't get to sit down and say, let's do 10 episodes. What story do we want to tell?
Yeah. So it came because people were like, that was really great. We want more. Isn't that the best way to continue telling a story?
It is. I mean, yeah, it'd be much better than we don't want any more.
Right. No, it's good. We're good. We don't want any more.
I have seen some people, maybe some are friends, acquaintances, whatever, that keep making things of something. And you're kind of wondering, is there a demand for this? Like, is there really a market that wants you to keep making these? Or maybe it's time to turn the page or, start on something new. So, yeah, it's very good that we're doing it because of demand, not just because we think that the audience needs more of them, and they really don't.
Yeah. So speaking of that, then how do you balance telling real life stories and also keeping your moral standard while telling a crime story?
That's the fun in it for me, right? Like, I want to be able to tell the most realistic, push it up to the line type story. Someone's like, okay, I need to grab the remote, or I need to reach to cover the kid's eyes. And then they're like, oh, okay. All right. They didn't go there, like if no one's on the edge of their seat. There's no, what's it? Then I think you lose that suspense. If it's all just safe and you just sit back, you lose interest, you do something else. But if we keep pushing it to that point, but at the same time, you never cross that line where someone's like, I got to turn this show off, or kids leave the room, or whatever. That's like the challenge for me. That's what I enjoy doing. Now, with those who greenlight our scripts and episodes, sometimes they come back and go, yeah, you got to take that one out, Jarod. That may have some people stopping or canceling their subscription or whatever it may be. Yeah. So I've been reeled back in a few times, but I mean, I've got 4 kids that are, from 16 to 6. So I want to do stuff that I'm not, oh guys, you can't watch this episode, you know. So that keeps me in check. And again, it goes through our church, and I have a lot of wonderful sweet church ladies, as they may be called, that pray for the project and pray for me. And I wouldn't ever want to do anything that they would go, Jarod, I'm embarrassed by that or upset that you did that.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, because I've seen the entire first season and it's so well done, but I also never know where the story's going. And that's what I find so exciting about it, is because I can't, in a lot of crime drama, you kind of can figure it out in the first 5 minutes, like, oh, okay, this is how it's going to go. But with Vindication, I don't think I've yet to figure out where the story's going. It's always exciting and different than I could have predicted. So how does that work? I mean, like when you start writing it, are you like, okay, most people will go this way. Let's go ahead and make a U-turn and go this way. Like how do you create those types of intrigues?
You know, that's a great thought, because with the name Vindication, it essentially means that someone who looks guilty is found innocent, right? To really simplify the term. So you got to think going into every episode, okay, someone's going to look guilty, and then they're going to be found innocent, and that can become predictable. So we have the objective of trying to change that so that people can't guess it each time, or maybe the person who looked guilty really is guilty, but this person who accused them, they're vindicated because nobody believed them, and now things of that nature. So or the detective who's going after this person, no one else thinks that person's guilty, but the detective does. And when he does find out they're guilty, then he's vindicated in his original assumption. So it's very tough having a name that gives almost a plot line that we have to keep coming up with something new.
Yeah. Well, and you speak of detectives. Now you have done a really great job of kind of developing this completely separate storyline along with the detectives' families. So it's not just the crime and we're chasing that. We have this secondary kind of story where we're completely invested in this family, and there's all these different dynamics. And as the viewer, like I know, like as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Oh, that means this is going to happen. So like I get so excited about the things going on in this family. So like in that aspect, how do you find the balance between telling a true life family dynamic story that's not maybe a little too obvious, so it's not like they're a little jacked up, and maybe he's a little crude, and maybe she's a little too naggy or whatever. Like you do a very good job of keeping that balance so that they all have very lovable moments, and yet they all have very challenging moments.
Yeah, I think it's the key to that is making your characters not one-dimensional. For example, the wife of the detective in there, she's very much a calm, collected person of faith. She always has the right answers. She always has the right words and all that. And if that's all she ever is, then you never have that, those surprises. It becomes predictable. So making her a very real person and two-dimensional, she also makes some mistakes sometimes. She says some things she doesn't. She shouldn't. She oversteps her bounds, and that keeps it, I think, suspenseful. And all of our characters are that way. Even this is a bad character, but then they have some redeeming qualities that you see in them. So I'll tell you this about season 2. Season 1, each episode had a crime of the week that was investigated and wrapped up in some capacity. And then you also had the storyline of the family and maybe some coworkers or boss and that type of drama. But as we go into season 2, I think the crime of the week, it's still going to be there, but it's going to kind of take a back seat to the other storylines that are going on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I worry about that. Is it a risk? Because I see people who write positive reviews. Oh, I love that I don't know what's going to happen each episode and these crimes. And I'm like, yeah, season 2, you're not going to get as much of that. It will always be there. But again, I think the roles are going to swap. Instead of crime of the week is here, and then behind is this family story. It's going to kind of go like the family story, and then behind it, there's a crime of the week. So yeah, that's spoilerish. I mean, people may not have even noticed that if I didn't tell you, but really in season 2, it does change how we approach it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of season 2, what are you most excited about?
I think we're taking a step forward. I've heard a lot of people say in season 1, they thought that as the season progressed, it got better. You knew more about the characters. Maybe some of our storytelling and production quality improved. And I would like to think that in season 2, we're starting there and just taking the next step up, whether it's with equipment that we're using on the production side, new people that we've added behind the scenes in post-production. to even our acting on the screen. A bigger casts, more people, of course, very talented people across the board. So I think we're just going to take the next step up, and that's what I want to hear from people. Like, wow, season 2 was or season 1 was really good. I liked it, but oh my gosh, season 2 just like went to another level.
Well, I feel like that's what happens a lot of time. Even in the greatest show, your first season, you're like, that was really good. But then the further you get into it and the more you love these characters and get to know who they are, the more depth there feels to each episode. Because even if the episode's not necessarily deep, because you know who the character is, each moment has more weight. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to peeling back a little bit more of these characters in season 2 and getting to view that as an audience member.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've also seen series though that do the other, where they use all their best stuff in the first couple of episodes or season 1, and then as the seasons move on, you realize they were was it a one-trick horse or one-trick pony, and they're like, I need something new. This isn't going anywhere. You're just kind of redoing the same things over and over. So it can go both ways, I think.
Yeah, you have to have depth and some character development there, Okay, so have you ever had stuff happen in your life or watch something? I don't know if you're a people watcher, but if I'm out in a crowd, I definitely look for the weird and people acting a fool. Sometimes I jot it down for later. But have you ever seen or been a part of something like that? You're like, yeah, I'm going to have to put that into an episode. That was gold.
Oh yeah, that happens quite often. Yeah, funny things happen, and if I don't write them down though, I'll forget about them, and I'm like, oh, what was that thing that I wanted to put in that was, so funny that happened, or what someone said. I mean, I've heard people use phrases, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's going to be a line. I may never tell them, but it's
of course not. Yeah. Well, and if you don't write it down, inevitably you'll get it completely wrong, and it will lose like all of the hilarity to it. And you're like, oh, I feel like that landed better when that other person said it.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, fun fact, you are indeed colorblind, correct?
Yes, it is. I didn't put on my colorblind glasses today because
you have colorblind glasses?
Yeah, they don't work very well. Have you seen those videos, where the guys put them on and they start crying and hugging people? And I was all ready for that when I spent several $100s to get me some. I put them on and everything looks the same. My family just calls them my creeper glasses because they're like shaded and yeah. So
that's a little less exciting. But you also did all of the color correcting for season 1.
Yeah, I did. I say all good, strong majority of it. Most of that was out of necessity, not because I want to keep everything to myself, but it was like we're out of money now, and this needs to be color corrected. So, fortunately, in the color scheme, you think it's all about vision, but there's actually scopes and numbers and things that you can kind of balance out, or use some pre-made things you drop in and adjust. So, not ideal. Season 2 is going to have real color correction done throughout. So, but I've never heard, major complaints or anything about season 1. So I get to say I color corrected a series. Having been colorblind.
Do you think our viewers should check out your color correctedness?
What do you mean?
I mean, should we show them a clip?
Yeah. Show them a good clip and see how.
This is the second homicide we've had in 14 months.
Are we sure this is a homicide?
My understanding is that there is a concern for safety in the neighborhood, and we're here to help out in any way we can.
The East Bank community remains on edge after the grisly discovery of 2 bodies.
It's an embarrassment. That's what it is. I know you don't have any leads.
What am I looking at?
Has Dad said anything about what's going on at work?
This is off the record. That means you don't talk about it. Okay?
You heard from him? Did you try to reach out to you at all?
Just stop it. Stop being a cop for just 1 minute.
I can't. Guys, move.
Hey, you can't take my phone. Watch me.
You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Do you even want to catch the guy?
I don't understand.
It's just unusual.
Maybe God is trying to tell you something.
How do I make it stop?
Please, hands where I can see him.
Oh my gosh. It makes me want to go watch it all again right now. It's so good. Oh my goodness. So, okay, when you're watching those types of things or whatnot, does it make you excited, or is it just kind of like, okay, well, we got to do another season and we got to live up to that. Like, is it nervousness or is it excitement?
Yeah, that second reaction seems very close to how I feel when I see it. Like, oh, we got a long ways to go.
Oh, well, I think for a long ways to go, you started off brilliantly. Now, should we test your detective skills? Maybe?
Probably not, but yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. Let's give it a
It's time to play Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire with Maggie.
Clearly, Jarod is very confident in his detective skills since he says probably not, but we are indeed going to play Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. For those of you who don't know how this game works, we each brought some items to the show today, and we will be describing it to each other. And then we'll have to decide if we're lying or telling the truth. So I believe last time I lost this game. We shall see if I can redeem myself. Would you like to go first, or would you like to be the guesser first?
I'd like to be the guesser first. I want to make sure I know how this works.
Okay, yeah, probably a solid idea. All right, I have a cardboard box that is blue, green, and red.
I think you're lying. You got a little too specific on the colors. And come on, colorblind guy, and now you're going to bring out color stuff? Isn't that like a little, I don't know, offensive or insulting or rude?
Sorry, is it?
Okay. Well, I think that's a lie. I don't think those colors are accurate. But you know what? Even if I was wrong, you could show it to me. I was right, and I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
All right. I do indeed have a cardboard box, and it is green and red, but it is not blue. So I have an Operation Christmas Child box. So for those of you who don't know what this is a charity by Samaritan's Purse where you fill a shoebox and you drop it off by a couple weeks into November. I think it's like November 15th. Don't quote me on that. And it goes to a very poor country where children sometimes don't get Christmas gifts. This might be the only gift they ever get. So if you would like to participate, I highly suggest you check out the website, SamaritansPurse.org. You can find some details and you can be a blessing to a child somewhere in the world and love on them like Jesus. But you did indeed win that point. So I guess it's your turn.
Okay. Well, that's obviously, you didn't tell me that I needed to like pick something charitable and
you won't. I just did
all that, but okay. So let me look at this here. Okay. I am holding in front of me the 1880 Morgan silver dollar, screen used by Detective Travis in episode 5 of Vindication season 1.
It's extremely specific, and this is exactly what Leland did. He used something and it's like, and it was used in like that detail might disqualify the whole thing. I don't know.
Like, what if we didn't use this one on screen? You know, this may have been the backup.
Ugh. Or if it was in a different episode. This is very shady. Okay, I don't even remember what all the details are, but it was extremely specific. And so I'm going to say you are telling the truth this time.
You would be correct. Good job. Yeah. I don't know if it'll focus, but let's see here. So yeah, 1880 Morgan silver dollar, screen used, episode 5. This is the one. Whoop. So yeah, good job.
Very special, and that's special.
We're tied up.
We're tied up now. All right. See, I brought 4 so I could have options. Okay. I am going to say for my next item, I have a black and blue pair of nail clippers.
I thought nail clippers are always just like one color. So let's see though. The first time you told a lie, I think this time you're telling the truth.
Okay. That's your final answer?
Yep.
Yeah. These are dog nail clippers, but my dog will not let me use them on him. So I do own them. But yeah, you are correct again, sir.
Okay.
I'm not at all upset about that.
Good deal. I'm better at this than I thought I would be.
Apparently, I need to get better at lying.
Yeah. All right, ready for this next one? This ought to get a reaction.
Okay.
I'm holding in front of me a printed sheet of paper from Johnson County, Texas, with a positive COVID-19 test.
Oh. Okay.
And if you haven't noticed, I've been a little under the weather, not sounding quite well
now, aren't you?
this whole time. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're really selling this. I'm gonna say because I also remember you posting something about a wrench being thrown into your production plans. I'm gonna say that's true.
You would be incorrect on that one. Sorry.
Oh.
No test in front of me. Good job. So it's actually just a random piece of marketing something paper. So I made that up.
Well, isn't that special?
But the what you're hearing, and I'm not saying it may not be the case, but anyway.
I haven't gotten the test, so
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay, got it. I got a lead now, so I'm feeling better.
Well, that's good. Good for you. Isn't that nice? Does it feel real great?
Yeah.
All right. I have a black Lakers hat. Like baseball hat, but it's for the Lakers.
That's all you're going to say?
I don't know if you noticed this, but they won the championship like a couple days ago. So, yeah, that's what I have.
Let's see. What would Maggie do? I'm going to go psychology here. She told one truth. She told one lie. The last one was a truth. I think you're going with a lie again.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? You're correct. It is a Dodgers hat. And they have not been playing well, so I'm just saying maybe this will bring them luck because they're down too. I don't know if you're a Dodgers fan. I know you're not, but you should be. And yeah, anyway.
So I got all three correct. So, I mean, there's no way for you to win now. Do we even keep going?
No, but you know what? Might as well just seal the losing deal.
See, I could have fun with this one, but I'll go ahead with it. So I have on my desk a can't even say the word, shrink wrap sealed, never been opened VHS cassette of the VHS cassette of the 1988 Dallas Cowboys team highlight video, which they happened to go 3-13 that year. It was the year that Tom Landry got fired, but a VHS cassette. And I'll say if any of this that I've made up is true, I also bought it off of eBay and it arrived this week. So it's brand new.
Gosh. That's something right there. I would like to unpack that a little bit more, but we don't have the time. So I'm going to say it's accurate because that's a whole lot of information and admittance if it's not. So yeah, I'm going to say
it's the 1987 video and that was Tom Landry's last year.
See, I don't know anything about football because football's dumb.
Okay. Well, you are correct. And that is accurate. So yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool, huh? That's something that I collect, and the fact that it's shrink wrapped and it's, 32 years old. It's pretty neat.
That is really cool. And also really weird that you collect that.
I have a VHS player too. So
I do too, but I don't collect them shrink wrapped where I can't watch them.
This one's probably going to get opened.
Oh, okay. So who cares about the value of the shrink wrapping?
I just thought it was neat that somebody out there still had this and sold it on eBay to me.
True. So there's value in it. Somebody wants it. Everything's always worth what someone will pay you for.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Well, you've officially won, and I think my losing record is embarrassingly high at this rate. So it's fun. I get to sit with that all day. But I'm going to pretend like I'm a good sport, even though we all know I'm not. And thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure that you check out Vindication. You can find it on Instagram. You can find it on Facebook, as well as their website, vindicationseries.com. You can also catch the first season of Vindication on several streaming sites, as well as DVD. I know I watched it on Amazon Prime, so that is one place you can definitely find it. And you won't want to miss Vindication. Season 2 will be on PureFlix and Redeem TV. Thanks so much for joining me today, Jarod, and thank you all for tuning in. Don't miss the next show when we will have actor Buddy Campbell. As always, have a super fantastic, wonderful, stellar, blessed day.